you, sir. Our next speaker will be Mr. Spalthoff.
Thank you, Mark. This is kind of interesting because for the 10 years that I've been coming to these, I've always been on that side, and it was much easier looking up here than having to respond. But it's still nice to be here nonetheless. And Arthur, you guys at the Men's Club have really done an awesome job, and I really appreciate it. My candidacy is a reflection of the commitment and the community that I live in and the people that I will represent. The very same people who are mad at what is happening in this state and in the city of Milford itself. The constant fighting between the parties and party line votes on the issues affecting our community has to stop. And we need leaders who will step up to the plate, and I am that leader, who will, when elected, will prove to those who elected me that I have their interests at heart and not the interests of a political party. I will be completely transparent in my dealings with the public because I have no political party to answer to, only the Milford voter, and I will be true to them no matter what. The voters of Milford can see through the short-term fixes that are being proposed during this election season and know they are inappropriate. A proposed tax decrease is exactly what I am talking about. It was designed as an election year ploy and done so with absolutely no thought to the future when we would have to pay back the fees we asked the unions to take and more. If this was not the truth, then why hasn't a tax decrease been proposed in the last 8 years of the mayor's administration? Isn't it interesting that we seem to see a lot more road paving being done now, that the mayor's office is being opened after hours? A final report from the Kimball subcommittee coming out just 3 weeks before the election. A report, by the way, that cost us $40,000 that we could probably have done on our own with the people that we have sitting in this room. How about a blight ordinance that the mayor balked at when first presented to him by the alderman several years ago? And why has it taken the mayor and the alderman to finally eliminate the costly contractual wage agreement that has cost this city taxpayers over $100,000 in payments to some 40 city employees, and the mayor has known of this and allowed it as well for all of his 8 years while he was in office. Well, here we are 43 days before the election, and the changes in leadership and a clearer direction for the Milford's future is more than a challenge to me. It is truly a mission that I am on. My experience as a former police officer, vice president with one of the largest banks in Connecticut, a Vietnam veteran, a small business owner, the executive director of one of Connecticut's largest broker trade organizations, and a leader of numerous civic organizations in the city of Milford, fires my passion to become the mayor of this great city. A mission of restoring civility and transparency to the boards and commissions that represent our great city. A mission of providing the type of leadership that will have merit today and in the days to come. Leadership that I will be proactive, involved, and creative. A mission of responsibility, not just to one or another political party, but responsibility to all of our citizens. A mission of preservation where not only will we build on this great city's history, but we will work diligently to preserve as much of our history as possible. And finally, I'm on a mission to restore the good name that Milford had for many years in the state of Connecticut. I will build bridges between our neighboring cities and work hand in hand on projects that will be financial to everyone involved in them. I will bring our city into the 21st century by adopting greener standards than we have ever experienced before in the city. And I will do so immediately upon entering into office and not some distant time in my administration. I have taken on the challenge of the running for mayor because I truly love this city, and it has been great to my wife and me. Having been brought up in foster homes and orphanages, I know firsthand the benefits of helping your neighbors, and I want to do more than just help my neighbors. I want to see them all be able to live in a community where they know their leadership cares about them, and I certainly do care about them. I want to cut through the political nonsense. I want to cut through the baloney, cut through the partisanship, and develop and design long-term plans for our community. And I can only do it if I am elected in November as your mayor. And I thank you for the time to present this to you to talk.
Our next candidate to speak is Mr. Spalthoff.
Again, thank you, Arthur, and thank all of you coming out, who has come out tonight. I see that we've gotten short in the number of people that have stayed around. But for those of you who have, I thank you again. I didn't put together a closing speech because I wanted things to come from the heart and not from memory and not from just rhetoric. No, I was not born in this city. I go one step further. I chose to come to this city out of 169 cities in the state. I chose Milford because of the beauty, because of the people, and because of the opportunity that was here for me. My wife and I moved here on purpose, not by accident and not because we were born here. We moved our business here on purpose because we fell in love with the community and the people. I have gone to work for this city effortlessly since the day that I was the day that I moved into Milford 13 years ago. Nobody knows these things because there was no reason to talk about it. It wasn't an ego trip. I wasn't getting paid for it. I have served, as I said, on almost every board in the city, from the United Way to the Chamber, to the Rotary, to the Milford Downtown Business Association, and the list goes on and on. Point Beach Association, Caswell Cove. I've done this all in 13 years, not because I had to, or because I wanted to, but because I love to, because I wanted to put something back into the community that was given so much to me. Politics is an interesting animal. You have to be a little crazy. You certainly have to want to do it, and you certainly have to have the drive to do it. I come to this city because I wanted to. I now would love the opportunity to serve the community in yet another position, and that is of mayor. There are things that could be done better in this city. There are things that need to be done better in the city. We're moving into the 21st century, and yet there are a lot of things that have held us back, and we have not been doing a lot. We talk about this wonderful budget cut, the tax cut that we're getting. Please, if nothing else, when you leave this hall tonight, remember that the $850,000 has to go back to the unions next year, and with a promise of no layoffs. The $200,000 that we're getting from the North Carolina firm is not a gimme. The $200,000 that we're getting from the sale of property is not a gimme. And the money that we moved, the close to $4 million that we moved from a $16 million rainy reserve fund is not there the next year, and we're going to have to find it. Where are we going to find it? We're going to find it in taxes. My biggest issue is small business, is business. I want to bring business back into this community. I want to bring more business to this community. We have an awesome city that goes without saying. To talk about the love of the city, we all share that love. We wouldn't be here if we didn't. I hope that you will consider my position. I hope that you will consider voting for me this November, and I can just guarantee you that you will get my heart and soul as every organization that I have served in this city has gotten. Thank you all very much for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, on behalf of the Plymouth Men's Club, I thank you all for coming out tonight for a long session with our candidates, and I'd like to offer special thanks to the 4 candidates who have placed